All right, guys, welcome back to the Inklings. My name is Brandon,
And I'm Jonathan.
and this week we're going to be talking about acrostic poems.
Acrostic.
Acrostic. Oh, I guess that's the
Or
other way. Acrostic.
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 Acrostic?
Accordion.
Yeah, so we're still in our poetry series for a little bit, kind of talking about different poems. As Brandon said, we're talking acrostics today. And I think we're just going to kind of dive right in.
I'll give a little description of what they are beforehand, just as a reminder of what acrostics are. Now, acrostics, you have usually the acrostic poems are a one word like title per se, and for each starting line of the acrostic poem is the letter in the title. So for example, if it's tooth, I picked a word out of my head, okay?
Quite literally.
You would start with the letter T as the first line, then the next line would be an O, then the one below that is an O, then a T, and then an H. So you would, and often what I do, at least with these, is I theme it to match what the title is.
Mm-hmm.
And these can be either one word or a line. But the one rule of acrostic, it has to start with the letter of whatever the word that you're trying to come up with is. And the challenge that we set for this week is we would do our name. Now, that's I found that to be a little challenging, at least doing it with a theme in mind, because I'm like, well, the theme is myself. Now, what do I talk about myself? I'm like, do I do the one word thing? Do I do the one line thing? I chose to do the line just because that's typically the acrostics that I do. So, how about I'll start with mine
Mm-hmm.
for mine, and you can kind of see. And I do have a theme, and I think you'll be able to pick up on it. Um, but I'll start with mine, and then we'll go to yours. So, Brandon is mine. So, 7 lines. So, the title is obviously Brandon. if that wasn't clear already. Anyway, first line goes as follows. Bedtime comes as I wander, revealing the nature of life's greatest mysteries. A deep dive into worlds of whimsy, never knowing what my brain can conjure up. Dungeons and dragons, swords and sorcery. Or a story of friends and family sitting around a campfire. Nothing forsaken as I dream anew.
So, if I could just, because I think it'll be kind of fun, if I can guess the theme.
Yeah.
It's kind of about your creative side is kind of what I'm getting. That aspect of your personality. That's kind of the theme you went with. That's the vibe I got from that.
It's like creative or dreams.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I went almost the exact same direction. Which tells you a whole lot about what I, consider my personality to be and what it revolves around.
Which I guess it's not too shocking that we follow the same kind of flow.
Work at a pizza restaurant.
We're the same person, just different names.
So mine, obviously, same idea. Title is me. Kind of the same theme and vibe. But my name has 8 letters, so I have 8 lines.
Ooh,
I know. Buckle up.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
All right. Joyful pilgrim, meander through emerald hill and dale, onward to horizons unseen and untold. Nevermore bound to places fraught in hues of gray, and listen closely amidst the melody of the world. There is a crescendo, a radiant fantasy and dream, hollowed within the spires of your heart, reigned by the majesties of imagination. And as night falls and stardust fills the empyrean, Nothing shall compare to the echoes of magic inked endlessly upon page and seam. So, joyful, J, onward, O, nevermore, and A, and. Was very creative with that one.
No, I know. My A was A. So.
T, there, H, hollowed, A, and again. I'm really living it up here. And then N, nothing. So.
Yeah, and then just to go through mine again, I had bedtime, revealing, A,
Yeah, baby!
never, dungeons, or nothing. And we both ended with nothing.
But that was because I had never written an acrostic before. I wrote this, and so that was actually a really fun little experiment because I didn't really know what to expect. I've written a couple different styles of poems, but I tend to, when I write poetry, flow more into the just free verse, do whatever you want sort of thing. And so limiting myself to a style is not only challenging for me, but it is a lot of fun. And it was kind of fun looking at again, we kind of went the same direction with where our theming went, but looking at myself and going, what do I feel like I represent? What is the, paramount part of my personality that I want to convey? So it was a lot of fun. It was definitely challenging.
Oh yeah, especially for a name.
Yeah.
Like usually you can think of things that are indifferent, and you'll see. I'll read a couple of other ones that I've written, but yeah, doing a name is interesting, and I'd be interested to know what you guys have done because I know we issued the challenge last week, and nobody really comments at the videos at this point in time, but we would love it if you comment, and we would love to hear what you kind of experienced during this little, I guess, trial, if you will, of what it is you could do with an acrostic with your name. And how do you theme it? Like, what would you say defines you?
Mm-hmm.
We'd be interested to know. We'd love to hear your poems, your acrostics, whatever. So comment down below if you like it. Or if you really like it, share it with people that, you see, your friends, your family. See if they see the same theme in you.
You wanted to share a couple more of yours?
Yeah, I'll share a couple more, and then we'll probably do a little quick round of what's a 3-letter word we can think of, and tell it to the other person, and make a quick poem.
So basically what we did last week, game style.
Yeah. So I'll read Imagination, which is a longer one.
Okay.
A lot more letters. But I thought, again, it kind of goes similarly with kind of some of our themes already. But so I will go through it. So images, scenery, characters, thoughts, and feelings, magnified by an ever-expanding repertoire of untapped potentialities. Against the grain of reality, dreams and visions reside within. Going from fantasies to dramas to even light action comedies, imagination is limitless. Its founding creator's legacy of wishes incarnate. Naturally unnatural, yet filled with an ever-precious wonder. A timeless phenomenon, birthed from the healthiest of minds, to reveal an ever-expanding wanderlust of nature in tales not yet written. Into the unknown, yet fully realized in mind, onto paths untraveled and roads ahead, never knowing what lays beyond where your imagination lies. So that's imagination. Imagination.
For those who've seen SpongeBob.
And this next one, I told some people to hey, give me a random word that I'll make an acrostic poem out of. Anything at all. And they told me clover. So I'm like, Okay. And so here's clover. So carefully selected amid a bed of alike florets, looking tirelessly, meticulously finding subtle differences, overrun with emotion to find that lucky one, vetting each and every clover, spending hours upon hours over enjoying the hunt to find our own pot of gold, resting in a meadow beneath the shade of a grand oak tree. So that's clover. And then I have another one that's really good, but I'll wait to share that at a later time. Just because it takes a little bit of explaining. And I'll probably actually share this in our other podcast, Discovering Eden,
Ooh.
because it has more of a faith connotation behind it. It's called kintsugi, which is a Japanese term for like broken pottery, mending, and all that kind of stuff. But I really like that one. But I will tease you with it and check out the other podcast.
So do it. Check out the other podcast.
Do it now. Anyway, I think it's time to have some fun. And let's get into a little bit of a game.
So if you joined us last week, we were talking about haikus, and we did a little game with these fun little whiteboards where we each gave each other a word, and we had to kind of create a haiku with it. So Brandon, he's got his word already.
I wrote my word.
And we're doing just 3 letters, right?
Yep, 3 letters, just to make it nice and fast. And so I'm going to show... That's my word for Jonathan.
Okay.
Egg.
Interesting. Okay. Here's my word for Brandon. Job.
Oh, man. So then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go like this. So for mine, I'm going to start like this.
Ooh, yeah, that G looks a little off. We're trying again.
And we're basically just gonna...
How the heck do I start? I've got a million directions this could go, but I don't know how to start it with an E.
Well, exactly. Exactly. Ha ha ha. Eraser, come into play.
I went the humorous route last time.
Well, I went to I had to make it fun the last time. It's a little bit challenging this time, and I know we're kind of silent during some of these, so
I can sing during them.
I'm almost done. I just have that last line.
I'm still on my first line, don't rub it in.
Okay, I went the funny route. All right.
I think I'm not going to go the funny route, because I like my first line. And it's not funny. I just don't know where I'm going to go from here.
Okay. Well, I guess.
Or I start serious and then I get funny, and it.
Well, I
goes
start.
well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I kind of started serious, and then I'm like, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna get a kicker at the end. So I'm done with mine. Would I be distracting if I said?
Oh no,
mine?
go for it.
Okay. So mine is job. So that's what I had. I didn't go with Job. I went with job.
I'm glad you did, because that's where my mind went. Was Job, and then I said he might go Job, and he goes Job.
So just in the nick of time, organizing portfolios and resumes, being jobless sucks. So, unfortunately, Mr. Buddy here, he just got a portfolio and resume done. Just in the nick of time, sent it out, trying to get a job. I echo that sentiment. So I continue to send out resumes, so I don't necessarily have to be at a pizza place anymore. But alas, I continue to struggle. Not jobless, but I just thought it would be funny if I put that at the end. Anyway, that's what it is. Woo! And then you should be finishing up
I'm on my last.
kind of soon. Yeah. Erase. I personally like acrostic poems.
Okay, this started serious because I liked my first line a lot, and then it just got ridiculous by the last line. So, my word was obviously egg, so I had to do 2 G words, which was challenging, and that's where the last line falls apart a little bit. Every sunrise, timeless bird song dances, getting up to the effervescent, crackling smell of good, fancy, fantastical ostrich eggs. It fell apart at the end, Brandon. It fell apart at the end.
But that's where things can get fun, you know?
And it's a game. So again, I was digging my first line, and I was still kind of feeling it out with the second line. By the third line, I was like, I have to start with another G word. How do I turn this into eggs?
Gigantic. Different things like that. Anyway, hopefully that was fun. I'd encourage you, try your own 3-letter word acrostic.
Or, use the 3-letter words we had and give us your own, what's your vision for job and egg?
Or, how about this? I'll give you a new one. Fun. Do an acrostic for the word fun.
And if it isn't fun, suck it up.
Buttercup.
Anyway, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys and
Fun.
I'm the pun guy. Stop it. Being able to talk about it. Brandon, what are we doing next week for the Egglings?
So next week, we're kind of venturing a little bit away from poems for the time being. And we're going to go into children's book. And kind of writing a children's book. Now, I've already did some of the groundwork, so we kind of already have a base, and we'll kind of get into that next week.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because my sister was begging me to, hey, I want something to draw. You said you were going to do this at some point. Give me something to work with. I'm like, I see. Okay. So then I came up with something on the spot. So we have something. It's an idea. I think it's interesting. We'll get into it next week, but you can look forward to that. And hopefully we can get into, and I'll try to give you updates onto maybe some of the pictures and different things that my sister's working on for the children's book that I think you guys would enjoy. So that's what you get to look forward to next week. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you again for watching. Share with people who you think would be interested, especially for the poems or for the children's story that's coming up next. We're still working on the short story, although kind of took a little bit of a backseat currently because of how busy things are for us right now. But we will be on it. We will be getting to it shortly. Anyway,
Short story. That was dumb. I'm gonna just see myself out. Bye, guys.
all right. Take care.